Hi everyone. So I have some really exciting news to share. This is pretty spectacular and pretty monumental. I'm still processing what has happened and even why it's happened to me. And I just really wanted to share with everybody. So, as a lot of you know, I do a lot of healing work, a lot of energy work, as well as doing entity removals, house clearings, exorcisms, etc. So that's quite hard on my body, mind, and soul. And I've had a few particularly rough cases recently that really laid me out for a bit. And, my partner, being considerate as he is, he can see that. And I had said to him, I really want to find another tool, or something to work with. That I don't have to expend all my energy. I use the singing bowls, and I do use a lot of other tools, but for the most part, I find I'm I'm working with my energy quite a lot, more than I'd like to. So he went on a little quest, and long story short, he connected with some gentlemen that he ended up emailing back and forth, who was looking for a new home for some thala prayer beads. Now I'm going to show you these beauties. Now, these are Baltic amber, beautiful clarity, beautiful. There's one little bubble in it. Other than that, they are completely crystal clear. Not only that, but these are over 160 years old, which makes them pretty special. But that is just the icing on the cake. What makes these super special. After he had spoken with this gentleman on and off for a couple weeks, and he had told me at the time he thought it was kind of odd because this guy was asking my partner a lot of questions about who they would be going to, what kind of work do I do, etc., etc. And he was felt like it was almost like an interview in a way. And then the gentleman, after a couple weeks, conceded and said, okay, basically he had put a lot of thought and energy and probably prayers into it, and said that he felt that I was the home where they were supposed to go to. So, Christmas Eve, my partner comes, we're sitting there, and he leaves and comes back, and then he's like, pulls out of his pocket this little jewelry box, this really antique, super cute. Look at that cheeky face. I find her face changes. Very cheeky. He pulls out this little jewelry box. So I thought, okay, all right, whatever. And then as he pulled it out, I was like, what the hell? I'm like, what is that? And I scooted probably like 5 feet over on the couch because I just felt this immense power come from it. An energy that I've never experienced before. And it was so powerful that for a moment I was like, oh God, is this something bad? Like, is this like a trick? I don't know. I guess I'm a little paranoid from the work that I do. And I just sort of looked at the box and I was like, what is going on here? And he has these pieces of paper that the gentleman had given to him, some history of these beads. And inside, when we open it up, is this beautiful mat, this hand beaded mat made by that sweetgrass that's woven in there, and it's made by a native medicine woman, and that's been put in there. And this box, I guess, belonged to his like great grandmother or something like that the beads are kept in. And it was interesting because when I looked at the box, I could feel the power, but I also noticed in my third eye that there's sigil work all over this box. And that, of course, made me a little suspicious because I'm like, whenever there's sigil work, it's usually for protection, but it's either to keep something in or keep something out. So I was kind of like, my mind was reeling, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is there sigil work? Why is this energy? Like, what is going on? And I just kind of sat there and stared, and I didn't even touch it because I was like almost freaked out to touch it. And as he pulled up the piece of paper, his hands were actually shaking. And I mean, he's not somebody who gets too emotionally riled up on a good day. He's pretty level, and his hands were shaking as he was holding this, and he could feel the immense power coming from it, and it's almost like I felt awe. And as he opened the box, I had this wave of emotions that came over me. I literally started to cry, and I had no idea, I had no clue what was going on. I felt every emotion at once. It was almost overwhelming. And I had this overwhelming feeling that I was in the presence of something divine, something holy. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. I've never experienced something like this. I can't put it into words, to be honest. And I've experienced a lot of strange stuff, some really high level beings, low level, all sorts of things. And this is different. So I'll get to it. All right, I'll get to it. So this has been handed down from 5 generations of Taoist grandmasters. So this is going back about 160 years. And this is what the gentleman that met my partner, he actually met him at the ferry terminal, which is about an hour and a half from our house. And he said that the guy was an older gentleman, big white beard. He said he kind of reminded him of like a monk. And I guess he had his backpack on. And my partner said, he just kind of offhandedly remarked about how he had traveled to 15 hours. And my partner was like, what? He's like, that's insane. And then the guy just said, well, I've traveled further, for less. And then he just, I guess, he said he felt he got teary-eyed, turned around and walked away. So this is 5 generations Taoist grandmasters of the lineage. And I'm still trying to figure out what the lineage means. Was given to, etc., down to his teacher, a Taoist grandmaster, was gifted to him in 1986 as an initiation gift into the lineage. Since then, it was used for meditation by him daily for a minimum of 3 hours a day. He goes on to say that these were blessed by many spiritual gurus, shamans, priests, monks, abbots. This gets cooler. The Dalai Lama, Osho Zen, one of my favorites, 2 popes, abbots in monasteries, in temples, kahunas, the list goes on. On this list here, this is and all the way down here. These are the countries that it was blessed in by spiritual leaders. We have everything from Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Portugal, Spain, Ireland, Turkey, Holland, Belgium, Denmark, Croatia, Yugoslavia. I mean, I'm just skipping through some even. USA, Hawaii. One that I think is really cool is Easter Island. Mexico, Brazil, Hawaii, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Australia, Japan, China, Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Tibet, Burma, Laos, Malaysia, Vietnam, Tibet, Nepal, etc. It just, the list goes on. Where those were the countries that it had been blessed in. Now, when we thought about it, if these, and we did a little bit more research on this, these are meditated with, used in prayers, blessings, healings, for a minimum of 3 hours a day, and each master has them for 33 years. There are 33 beads on them, and ironically enough, in the numerology breakdown, the day that I got it, 12th month, 2 + 1 is 3. I got it the 3rd month. The December broke down to the 3rd month. The day that I got it broke down to a 3. There was another 3, and my life path number is 3 as well. So the 3s and the 33s are incredibly significant, even in spiritual numerology as well. So that, it was pretty fascinating, because actually as of January 1st, he would have had them 34 years. So, and I received them on the 24th. So I was kind of laughing. I was like, just sliding in there at the last minute, hey? And so I'll read you a little bit about the prayer beads. He says, "What you have in your hands are holy. They are priceless and a gift from the heart, and holding in them their blessings and prayers of many generations of monks, priests, abbots, popes, healers, shamans, gurus, and holy men. From many countries I and my ancestors walked. I was blessed in my life to meet and be friends in spirit, in soul and mind and body with many gifted and blessed every way of the path of my encounters with so many enlightened beings. I love for you to give you these beads and bless you in your heart for the work you do for humanity and all souls." Oh, every time I read that, I almost choke up. "They never left my side now for the last 33 years, and it's time now for them to go on to their new adventure. I hope in my heart they bring you as many beautiful memories as I have, or even more. Be blessed and beyond a prayer to be with you. Take care of them as I have always with love in your heart." It's a beautiful message. And then he gives me a thing about the beads. They have a high healing frequency. No shit. I used these. I'm still, oh my gosh, my arms are pumping so bad. I use these very briefly, and the only way I can explain how this feels, anybody who's used to my energy work before, this is like, I was driving a Pinto and now I have a Lamborghini. Essentially, I haven't even taken these guys out of first gear is what it feels like. The first time I connected with them, it was so overwhelming and so powerful that I actually had to pull the energy back in. Their frequency is always present, so be aware of their power. Yeah, duly noted. Now I understand what he means by that. They will multiply your own healing and clairvoyant abilities. It's pretty. I've learned in many years of practice with them that they have their own soul and beingness and give what is appropriate at the time of prayer, meditation, or chant. And it's true, crystals, for anybody that's familiar with crystals or things like that, they do have their own spirits. They have their own souls. I don't know how to explain it. There are beings that are present inside here, and chatty. That is all I have to say. I had to block them in their box and put them on the far end of the house the first night because I couldn't sleep with them. It was just a minute I connected with them, and the minute I put them on, it was like I could hear millions of prayers and mantras all speaking at once, all these different voices. And what I absolutely love about this the most is that this connects with every culture, every religion, every belief system around the world. And that, to me, I hold that dear in my heart, because when I work with people, well, me and my guides work with people, I don't come from one religion, and that's actually one of my mantras or prayers that I use when doing home clearings, and I'm calling on, come on everyone, help me out here. I don't stick with one specific religion or thing, because each deity, each entity, etc., they will relate to different backgrounds. Like some of them, entities might respond more to a Catholic faith, where some, we might be dealing with Eastern European faiths and backgrounds and stuff like that. So I try to be all encompassing, because the faith system, belief system is very important to the individual. So it's important to me, so that we can ramp up the energy, right? So the fact that these come from so many different religions and backgrounds and cultures really resonates with me. I cannot, I'm shaking. When I looked at them, and I hemmed and hawed for probably about an hour about touching them even, let alone putting them on. Because the minute I put them on, I knew in my heart and my soul that I was going to be accepting a huge responsibility. Something of monumental nature that, I don't even know that I'm am fully aware of even what this is going to mean, and what this is going to mean from the healing work and working with you all. And I just feel so blessed, and I also feel so amazed and bewildered that, you know, 5 generations of Taoist grandmasters it's handed down to, and how it ended up in my hands. It's mind blowing. I'm sorry. I know it's rambling. I'm rambling, but I'm mind blown. So I guess to wrap it up, I guess you guys got the gist of my bewilderment, amazement, and utter awe of having these beautiful healing beads, thala prayer beads, in my possession. And I just want everybody to know that I do use them every day, and I do send out healing, and I ask for healing and comfort and support to anybody and everybody who may be feeling alone, lost, scared, or lost, that you find your light and you find your way and you find your path. And I know in my heart, you know what, guys, 2020, it's going to be a good year. I'm really excited about it, and I feel like it's going to be a good year for a lot of people. So on me and Thala, we are looking forward to working with so many more people this year and ramping up the energy for those that I've already worked with. So yeah, thanks for listening, and everyone have a really great day. Take care. Bye.